Hey everyone, this is a build update on my elementalist Ice Nova of frostbolts. This is self-cast build. I've already talked about it in the last video. I rather written short guide. If you use spell echo, you get pretty much double DPS, actually more than double, because the gem itself gives you like more cast speed, but with spell echo you also get one additional repeat, so you have like double the damage. So it's pretty powerful, but when it comes to my progress, I am like level 90. I've played a little bit over 1 day, so this is kind of like the day 2 progress. And it is pretty decent. I was able to do a lot of high tier maps, even tier 16s, but I was having a major struggle. I was unable to use my mana because it just costs too much mana to cast, like 80 mana per cast, and casting it like how much 4 times a second. It was for me unable to sustain. But recently I switched to Eldritch Battery, but it also had an issue. I lost like 1400 shield or something like that, and yeah, I was very squishy. I was like 3000 HP. So even more recently, I did a few upgrades. The first upgrade that I did is that I went for Bastion of Elements. Before I had only this left side, which is the side that I went for first. Then I went for Shaper of Winter, and the reason is because you have higher chance to freeze the enemy because there is more effect of cold ailments, and also you can achieve higher chill, which gives me in total like 10% more defense or slows enemies by 10 additional percent, and also works with Bone Shield, which gives me 10% more damage pretty much. So it is kind of both defensive and offensive, so it's pretty good note. And then I went for Bastion of Elements, which was very great idea. Imagine me only having like 3000 HP and then having on top of that additional like over 2000 elemental shield, which recharges after 4 seconds if I don't take any elemental damage. So yeah, the elemental shield did improve my defense a lot, but that wasn't all. You can also see that I have a lot of ES, and most of that comes from this belt. The belt gives me 4% extra of life as ES. I bought the cheapest one, and it also has corrupted soul keystone, which gives me 15% of max health as extra energy shield. And this was the point where it was possible for me actually to go both Eldritch Battery and Mind Over Matter. That means that all the shield that I have is now my effective HP as well. So my effective HP is like over 5000, like 5500. And on top of that, I have like 2000 elemental shield, which periodically recharges. So that's pretty good defense, but I didn't stop there, even though we are pretty close to the stop. Um, I have pretty good flasks. I have armor flask, I have evasion flask, and I've also increased armor and evasion, and I have also a little bit of DPS here when it comes to cast speed, so that's pretty good. And I have very good sustain on flask, which I maybe had even before, but I have a lot of quality of lives here. So yeah, when I show you my defensive, I have like 8% reduction, 16% chance to evade. If I use all my flask, I have 32% reduction and 41% chance to evade, which helps me to mitigate a lot of the damage. I would say like 50% of the damage from enemy hits is being mitigated. On top of me having this amount of effective HP. But if you use Mind Over Matter with Eldritch Battery, there are few problems. And first is that if you take a lot of damage, you can easily like regen your health through health flask. But you cannot easily regen your shield. So you need energy leech, which I had before. But the energy leech is capped. So if you want to have like almost unlimited amount of shield, um, you have to take this instant leech mastery, which should help you a lot if you are taking constantly damage. They are not going to take down your shield, which is a big problem because recently, if you had only Eldritch Battery, your shield constantly recharged. Now, if you take damage also to your shield, and it stops recharging. So you are way more reliant on the leech than before. Also, I have energy regen because you can only reach your shield if you actually cast spell, which was shield. So if you lose all shield, there is no way how to get it back. Unless you have regen, which works constantly. 2% regen per second makes it possible for me to cast spell. This one costs 80 mana, so I'm able to cast it, and if not, I'm always able to cast Flame Dash, which does some damage, and that allows me to cast Ice Nova and keep going my rotation. So yeah, that is most of it. And there is also one more upgrade that I did, which I think that wasn't at the previous video, and that is Dorianis Catalyst. This gives me Element Leech as life. There is also Glove Enchant, but I didn't bother with getting the right Eldritch currencies. So I just bought Dorianis Catalyst. It does give me some fast speed, does give me a lot of damage. It doesn't give me like a lot of crit, but I am not crit yet. This is Elemental Overload build, so this pretty much gives me everything that I need. So I'm going to run tier 16 to show you that this build is capable of dealing tier 16, and you can see the performance. Okay, one last thing to note, my DPS did not improve at all. My DPS is only like listed 20,000, which is like my tier 1 map DPS, so I haven't improved this. And it is sometimes noticeable, but I'm still able to deal with tier 16, so it would be better if I would be able to bridge this gap, and especially if I would be able to get more DPS without spending much currency. But right now, I have no idea how to improve my damage noticeably without spending a lot of currency because I don't have. But it's okay. I can do tier 16s. They are quite hard, but I can still do them. Okay, I don't have enough money for haste. Let's just go with that.